There it is.
Good evening and welcome to the Spalding County Board of Commissioners November 17th extraordinary meeting. I would ask that you please silence your cell phones and all other electronic devices. I would like to ask Commissioner Gwen Flowers Taylor from District 1 to lead us in the invocation, and Commissioner Reginald Watts from District 3 to lead us in the pledge to the flag.
If you would, join me, please. Father, we come to you this evening with gratitude. Gratitude for all the blessings that you have given us in this life. You've given us a free country in which to live in, a community that is thriving, and you've given us a love that you don't share sparingly, and we're very grateful for that. We ask you to be in this room tonight to help us to make decisions that are the best for Spalding County. We ask you to give us discernment, give us patience, give us understanding, and give us aptitude to be able to handle the business that you've assigned us to do. We ask you to be in this room tonight, but also be with our first responders, our 911 callers, our 911 operators, our firemen, our policemen, all of our people who are the first on the scene. Bless them, support them, because we know that we can't imagine what it is for them each time they are the first to respond to any emergency. We ask you to be in this room tonight and allow your will to be done. We ask these things in your son's name. Amen.
Amen. Join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioners. I believe we have a request to amend the agenda for this evening to add an executive session at the end of the meeting and to cancel the December 1st workshop scheduled for 3 p.m. and to call for a special called meeting workshop on December 15th at 3 p.m. Is there a motion?
Motion. And I'll second it.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to recognize the Deputy Finance Director, Jamie Tarleton, to present the financial statements. Jamie, welcome back.
Hey, good evening, Commissioners. Please tune in as I review our county finance report. Are y'all going to be doing the clicking? Okay. All right, the upcoming presentation will summarize the county's financial activities for fiscal year 26 as of October 31st. Covering revenue collections, expenditures, and encumbrances for the current general fund and fire fund budgets. 4 months have passed in the present fiscal year, which accounts for 33% of the overall budget. For October, total revenues were $4.4 million, expenditures were $2.8 million, and encumbrances, primarily due to new fire trucks, stood at $6.6 million. Encumbrances represent committed funds for future obligations, so they impact cash flow. They're planned and they're accounted for. Next slide, please. All right, here is a financial overview. The chart provides a snapshot of October's financial position. You'll notice the gap between revenues and expenditure, which aligns with the seasonal trend if you compare it to FY 2025. Additionally, our chart shows cumulative revenues of $10.4 million and expenditures at $28.9 million for the 4th month of fiscal year of 26. So far, revenues have reached 41% of the budgeted amount. We also compare October's performance to previous months. The trend shows expenditures are holding steady while revenues are gradually increasing. This supports our expectation of stronger inflows in the coming months. The county collected $5.2 million in taxes, representing 49.6% of total revenue. These taxes include real property tax, both current and previous year, interest and penalties on real and personal property, public utility tax, motor vehicle tax, ad valorem tax, tag and title fees for personal property, local option sales tax, alcohol tax, business occupation tax, railroad equipment tax, and other sources. Miscellaneous revenue came in at $707,000 or 6.8%, including income from resource officers, CI and Sheriff Department inmate phone commissions, inmate store commissions, CI detail reimbursement, motor coach trips, sales of surplus property and equipment, also spay and neuter fees. The county collected $1.1 million in charges for services, which accounts for 10.5% of the overall total. This amount includes various fees from the probate and magistrate courts, adult probation and supervision fees, inmate housing costs, medical and clothing reimbursements for both correctional institution as well as the sheriff's department, as well as revenue from animal control, recreation fees, scrap iron sales, state tax collection fees, and recording fees. Licensing and permits, which includes business, alcohol, building, sewer inspection, zoning, and subdivision, also marriage and pistol license permits, accounts for $723,000 or 6.9%. Fines and forfeitures generated $718,000 or 6.9% of total revenue from superior, state, magistrate, clerk of court, victim assistance, and drug court, abuse court fines. Intergovernmental revenues totaled $1.9 million, comprising 18.2% total reported revenue. These revenues are from local, state, and federal sources, including real estate transfer tax, Georgia Highway Safety and COPS grants, Performance Partnership Award, VOCA grants, accountability, court grants, DOT reimbursements, FEMA and Boost, as well as other grants. Investment income accounts for $114,000 in revenue, or 1.1%. Lastly, our contribution and donations account for roughly $10,000 or 0.1%. Revenue collections remain below target, but property tax receipts will significantly improve in the next quarter. Monitoring these inflows will be critical to closing the gap for revenues. Next slide, please. Employee salaries, benefits, and FICA taxes account for 50% or $12.9 million of total expenditures. The expenditures for purchases and contractual services, which includes radio and computer equipment as well as software, office equipment, maintenance, travel expenses, legal fees, dues and subscriptions, education, training costs, election expenses, telephone, postage service, and auto and truck maintenance amount to 31.7% of the total expenditure, or $8.1 million. Other costs account for 6.2% or $1.6 million, which includes various park repairs and supplies reimbursements, T-SPLOS, paving and sidewalk reimbursements, the Cigna flexible spending account, street lights, the Griffin Spalding Development Authority, the airport, forestry services, the public safety training center, the Griffin Spalding Archives, the Health Department, as well as the library. Supplies, which includes office and departmental, utilities, uniforms, fuel, and small equipment, account for 8.9% or $2.3 million of the overall total expenditure. Our debt service, which includes enterprise vehicles, principal and interest, Noresco capital lease, principal and interest, and other capital lease principal and interest payments on equipment like compact track loaders, skid steers, graders, backhoes, and compact excavators account for 2.5% or $652,000 of the total expenditures. Capital outlay accounts for 0.7% or $179,000, which includes supplies and materials for playgrounds, walking trails, master park plan, vehicles, public works, and parks and recreation machinery and equipment. Expenditures are tracking close to projections with the expectation of encumbrances for capital purchases like the fire trucks. These are strategic investments and were anticipated in the overall budget. And our last slide. Our Truist Bank operating account started in October with $16.7 million and ended with a strong position. Across all accounts, we hold $44.1 million in cumulative assets. This demonstrates effective cash flow management and strategic timing of revenue inflows. While we currently are operating at a deficit, this is consistent with the historical patterns. Our financial position remains strong, and we anticipate revenue recovery in the coming months. Thank you all for your time, and I'm here to take any questions.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to accept the financial report as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I want to make sure everybody understands that what we're talking about is taxes are just coming in now. So we started spending 1 July. Our revenue comes in now from the now till the next few months to be able to do it. So it looks like, oh, we're under budget, but in fact, we're exactly where we're supposed to be. So I want to make sure everybody understands how that works. It doesn't work like that in all agencies, okay? All right, any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries, budget is approved.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank you,
evening.
Jamie, appreciate it. Presentation and proclamation. A presentation of GRPA district and state awards.
I'll be more than happy to read, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished Professional Award, Kelly Carmichael. This award recognizes individuals who have made outstanding and lasting contributions to the field of recreation, leisure services, parks, or conservation. This is the highest award GRPA can bestow on one of its members. The second award this evening is Presidential Citation, TJ Emberger for his incredible work as co-chair of the annual conference committee. The third presentation is for the District 4 Award, Outstanding Special Event, Programmers Network, Senior Prom, presented to Lauren Brown. And the last is the State Award, the Innovation in Parks, Maintenance, and Operations for Greg Honeycutt, Greg Thaxton, and Greg Stansel, Art at the Grind Skate Park. Mr. Chair, I believe TJ Emberger, our director, would have a few words for us this evening.
Kelly's going first.
Oh, please forgive me. Ms. Kelly?
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
It's an honor and privilege to stand before you this evening as we recognize excellence within Georgia Recreation and Park Association. Every year in October, the fabulous 4th District recognizes excellence within the district level. This year, they selected the special event of the year as Spalding County Senior Prom, led by Lauren and her amazing team at the Senior Center. This event celebrates athleticism, vibrancy, and love for life. Participants dressed in the nines gathered and received their Olympic medals from their recently held Olympic Games. They celebrated each other's achievements and danced the evening away. Highlight of the evening was personal red carpet escorts provided by Spalding Fire and Spalding Sheriff's Department. It was an exceptional event worthy of being named the 2025 GRPA District 4 Special Event of the Year. Congratulations, Lauren, and your team.
Stand off to the side. We'll get a picture in just a minute with everybody, if we could. TJ?
You don't have to give a speech, but
It's
I'm gonna
TJ.
It's only 10 pages. Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, thank you very much. As past president of GRPA, it's an honor to present Spalding County with GRPA awards. I'd like to first call up our Parks Maintenance Detail Officer, Mr. Kevin Swales.
One up.
He was the leader of the first project for our first award, that being the GRPA Parks Maintenance and Operations Network Innovation in Parks Maintenance and Operations Award for our Grappling with Graffiti program. For many years, we've been battling graffiti at our skate park and our restroom building next to the skate park. After trying many ways to combat this issue, including cleaning, reporting, and community involvement, it still remained a problem. As the popularity of murals being painted around Griffin then gave us an idea. It's a well-known, unknown fact that taggers do not tag other people's art. At that point, we went ahead and we secured the assistance of one of our special project folks, Mr. Kevin Swales, and we came up with the idea that we should do our own Griffin and Spalding County themed graffiti at the skate park. We then partnered with the CI and found an artist, an inmate artist, that assisted us with this project. We then, under Kevin's leadership, we went ahead and painted all of the walls of the interior of the bathrooms and all of the outside of all of the obstacles at the skate park. This was completed in January, and to this date, we still have no graffiti at that location.
Wow. That's wow.
So we'd like to congratulate Mr. Kevin Swales, as some of the theme was actually from him, and he supervised the inmate artist and made sure that this project was award winning.
Oh, way to go, Kevin.
Your picture.
Yes.
Now for the big one. It's an honor this evening to be here to present the 2025 GRPA's Distinguished Professional Award. This award is to recognize individuals who have made outstanding and lasting contributions to the field of recreation, leisure services, parks, or conservation. This is the highest award GRPA can bestow on one of its members. It's a pleasure tonight to award this award to Kelly Carmichael. First, let's look at some of her GRPA accomplishments. And I'll be quite honest here, I had to take 3 pages and make it 1 page. This is just a few of those accomplishments. She served as district commissioner. She has served as chair of the senior section twice. She has chaired numerous statewide committees. She has served on numerous statewide committees. Has served on the state board of trustees. Responsible for updating the current 4th district bylaws. She's responsible for the current process GRPA currently uses to award state awards. She's a graduate of the GRPA George Harris Executive Management Program, and for many, many years, she became the voice of GRPA at our annual awards banquet. She coined the phrase, this is between me and her probably, everything is better in Metter. Where's she at? And she has presented at many conferences statewide. Spalding County. She began in 1996 as our senior center supervisor 29 years ago. She replaced the hard-to-fill shoes of Henry Sims as the superintendent of recreation. She currently serves as the leisure services director. She has been instrumental in moving the old Senior Citizen Center to its current 27,000 square foot facility, which is one of the largest in the state of Georgia. Played a key role in the design and building of pickleball, aquatic center, and reopening of City Park Community Center to daily operations. She has been pivotal in the development of My Legacy Museum and soon to be realized Heritage Park Community Building. She has led 29 park Christmas lightings at 3 locations. She's instrumental in securing $9 million of neighborhood grant money for the redevelopment of Ambucks and Volunteer Park, and those projects have started. She has brought great success in feeding our local youth and combining that with daily interaction in after-school programs, tutoring, and youth mentoring. She has secured numerous grant funding opportunities from folks like the Hawks, the Atlanta Falcons, GRPA, many local organizations, and hundreds of thousands of dollars for the Boost program. She is active in the community with Rotary, Kiwanis, Collier's Community Services, Spalding Collaborative, and many others. She holds a bachelor's degree from Berry College, and this evening she is joined by her husband Nello, daughter Whitney, son-in-law Noah, granddaughter Kara, and her son Taylor. Please join me in congratulating the 2025 GRPA Distinguished Professional of the Year, Ms. Kelly Carmichael.
I'm looking for.
I ain't even know I looked around. Where she at?
Do you want to get?
Whew, what a privilege to serve this community. It's very humbling to stand here before you today, but I am going to take, if you'll give me a little bit of grace and give me a couple minutes. There's a couple of things. You don't have this opportunity very often.
I'll tell you what. We all got it. Take your time.
There is power in a story. I come from a family shaped by resilience and service. My parents immigrated to this country after surviving German occupation in the Netherlands during World War II. As children, they endured starvation, foraging for tulip bulbs just to survive. My mother's family risked their own lives to hide Jewish neighbors in their attic. They witnessed the unspeakable. From their values, their experiences taught me enduring values. Waste nothing. God doesn't. Complain about nothing. Be strong and courageous. You can do hard things. Let God lead. Growing up as a first-generation American taught me, be adventurous. Your story is what you make it. It takes community, so contribute to it. Embrace diversity, not just the obvious ones. The professional lessons I've learned. First of all, I hope that you all know by now, after 29 years, that I love serving Spalding County.
Oh.
I love this community. My family is a big part of that. They're here because they support me. They've endured my many hours away from home, long meetings, events. Just being in the same room here takes me back more than 20 years ago. There was a table back there, and my kids used to attend these meetings and color on the back table. I'm so grateful God gave you to me. I'm here professionally because the legacy of those who came before me. Lewis Green, Henry Sims, they saw something in me that I didn't know and taught me so much. Professionally, I've learned, stay humble. Have no excuses. Sometimes it is up to you. Never stop learning and share what you know. Surround yourself with people better than you are. And yes, I'm talking about the amazing and talented Parks and Leisure Services work family. You all mean so much to me. I love working with you all. And the work that we all do is a work of community, and it's a selfless service. This work is not about plaques or awards. It's about creating opportunity, serving others, caring for community, and changing lives. That's why leading the development of our Legacy Museum is the greatest privilege of my career. We have the opportunity to present the powerful legacies of so many. Julius Rosenwald, a Jewish immigrant, and Booker T. Washington, who together with local communities built nearly 5,000 schools across the South, transforming education and lives of hundreds of thousands of Black students in the early 1920s and 30s. We as a community are preserving stories of struggle, injustice, and triumph, stories that would otherwise be lost. The inspiring legacies of so many local people will be featured in this special place, which is slated to open next year. It's about shaping a stronger, more unified future. In closing, we're all here because people matter. Their stories matter. There is evidence you can change the world one person at a time. As Galatians 6:9 says, so let us not grow weary in doing good. Let's all seek to do something significant for someone who cannot pay us back. Thank you.
What a night, Kelly. What a night. All right. Item number 2, presentation of DCA adopting and approving Spalding County's capital improvement element. Dr. Ledbetter.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to share with our community that the Georgia Department of Community Affairs has officially adopted and approved our capital improvement element and 5-year short-term work plan. This achievement is more than a procedural step. It is a statement about our commitment to responsible growth and quality of life for every resident. By maintaining this plan, Spalding County retains its ability to collect development impact fees, ensuring that as we grow, we have the resources to fund critical infrastructure such as parks or public safety facilities and equipment that make our community stronger. This approval also affirms our status as a qualified local government, a recognition that we are planning thoughtfully and acting with accountability. And I just want to thank everyone who has contributed to the effort of this plan, specifically our Community Development Director, David Allen, who's sitting in the audience with us this evening, and all of our department heads and all of our employees. We've all been a part of this program, and I just want to say thank you to the Board of Commissioners for pushing this forward. We are green this year for our scorecard with the Department of Community Affairs as we have been approved in time and met the goal of October 31st. So thank you very much.
Well done. Well done. Your staff has done a great job for us, and we all appreciate what you've done for us. Any other comments? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Item number 4, citizen comments. Speakers must sign up prior to the meeting and provide their names, addresses, and the topics they wish to discuss. Speakers must direct your comments to the board and not to individual members or to the audience. Personal disagreements with individual members or county employees are not a matter of public concern, and personal attacks will not be tolerated. The chairman has the right to limit your comments in the interest of disposing of the county's business in an efficient and respectful manner. Speakers will be allocated 3 minutes to speak on their chosen topics as they relate to matters pertaining to the jurisdiction of the Board of Commissioners. No questions will be asked by any of the members during citizen comments. Outbursts from the audience will not be tolerated. Common courtesy and civility are expected at all times during the meeting. No speaker will be permitted to speak more than 3 minutes or more than once unless the board votes to suspend the rule. Dr. Ledbetter, do we have people that have signed up tonight?
Yes, sir, we do. We have 5 of our neighbors who have signed up this evening. Lori Todd, if you would, please step forward, state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Lori Todd, and my address is 2805 Orchard Road, Conyers, Georgia.
Okay, thank you. Lori, we should have, in just a minute, it should say 3 minutes.
You ready? All right. My name is Lori Todd. I am the founder and director of Walking Home Together. It's an animal welfare society out of Conyers. My niece Mary and I were here on the 21st, spending lots of money at your sock shop. And as always, when I hit a new animal control, I go in and introduce myself. I was immediately asked to put my phone in the car, which I found odd, and I was told it's because people bring them in and try to cause problems, neither here nor there. We did go in to see the animals. They were courteous with me, and they were very nice. Immediately, we spotted a very sick puppy in the midst with 2 other dogs in general population. We were told that one of the dogs, that there was a 4th that had died in foster care. I immediately wanted to pull that one dog and take it home, which they found odd. They asked, why didn't I take the healthy dog? That's not what I do, and I've been in rescue for 40 years. They had trouble with the computer system. Nobody knew how to run the computer system. Nobody knew how to log me in. In the midst of this, the dog did throw up on the floor. I asked for fluids to give the dog because I didn't think it was going to make it home. I had to give the fluids in the lobby, and I asked for a new needle, and I don't know if I actually got a new needle for the bag. It pained me that the director was not there. She was out on personal business. I think her mother was ill. In that, nobody there knew how to give sub-Q fluids. This dog was obviously sick, and I was perplexed as to why no one noticed the depravity and the shape that that dog was in, and no one was able to provide it the care that they needed. And sub-Q fluids is just a needle under the skin. So that may be something. I'm not here to place blame. I'm here to offer food for thought on that. The dog threw up in the lobby because I was not allowed to take it back into a more secure sanitary area. I had to ask 3 times for a mop to clean it up. The next day, I did take the dog to the veterinarian. I do have my medical records, and I do have the pull sheet for on any information that you might want to see. And I wonder why, if there was one dog that died in foster care, and this is just maybe a protocol issue that needs to be looked at, what were the other 3 in general population? Luckily, this dog did not have parvo, but it did have coccidia and giardia, which is parasite-based. I understand that they may have been born there. They were young. They were old enough to have been taken away from the mother. But I don't understand, and this may be something that needs to look at within the budget, that usually upon intake or when they're 3 weeks old, they give Strongyte. But puppies under 6 months of age should be given another medication called Panicure. I've been doing this for 40 years. Maybe that's something that needs to be included in the budget for the care of these, because it would have stopped this in the tracks. This dog never took a bite of food on its own. I had to hand feed it. Yes, my bill at the vet was over $400, but that is something I knew when I took the dog in. So that is on me. The dog died 3 days later. The day after that, I did speak with, I think it's Vic.
All right, that's your 3 minutes.
Oh, man. Okay. Thank you, though. But I've got this, and I will make myself available if needed otherwise.
Thank you.
Charles Lovett.
Giving on to all the officials tonight. I have a problem.
Mr. Lovett, if you would, please state your name and address for the
My name
record,
is Charles Lovett Jr. Address is 155 Kendall, Kendall, Griffin, Georgia, zip code 30224. I have a problem. Now, my tax for last year was $1,752.80. This year is $4,611.77. I can't see that. I wonder why it's so high. Now, the former house we had, it tore down, tornado tore it down. But we moved in our new house where we rebuilt in 2023. And so the tax went up a whole lot. And I just wonder why it's why it is $4,611.77. I can't see that. Could y'all explain that to me, please? I went to the tax office today. I paid this amount for it. I paid $6,611.77 for this year's tax. I wish somebody explained it to me. They couldn't explain it to me at the tax place. They said the tax had gone up. But I can't see paying no 4,000 some of compared to 1,700 and some cent for last year.
Okay, as you heard, we don't answer questions at this time.
Okay. I thought I presented to the board tonight.
But you can get the county manager's card,
Yes.
and he will contact you.
Okay, well, they tried to explain it to me today, but I told them, mouth to mouth, I can't see where I have to pay 4,000 and whatever it is, $4,611.77 compared to $1,700 some cent. They
Yes.
couldn't explain it. They said tax going up, but I don't believe that going up that much now.
Okay.
I know I can add in subtract, but I can't see that. So you say I have to see who?
Yeah, there's a card right there. Thank you, Charles.
We did go with a full rollback this year, so we lowered the millage rate effectively as much as we could this year, right?
We did, yes, sir.
Most we've ever done, first time we've rolled back all the way in 20 years. Massive.
I know the state had been sending us for the last, since I've been here, that the state have been telling us that the tax assessor has to raise the values by 10, 15%, across the board. Do we get another letter like that this year?
We did not. We were within the band of
Okay.
the requirements as required by the state law.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I wonder, that's an interesting case then.
It is. I will be more than happy to have a conversation with Mr. Lovett. Yes, sir. William Borelli.
Thank you.
Yeah, we understand the role of a husband. Thank you.
William Borelli, 599 Smoke Road, Griffin, Georgia. Tonight I'm here to speak about animal control. Over the past few months, I and many of the neighbors have seen a growing number of dogs roaming our streets. We have done all we can to take in strays, call animal control repeatedly, including emailing everyone on this board, trying to get assistance for any of these animals, including one who right now is currently being fostered at my home because it showed up after animal control told me, and I have emails and I've copied all of you in on those, that they would be coming out to pick up this animal, and they have refused to do so for 2 weeks. They have refused to acknowledge after I emailed them every day for 2 weeks. No acknowledgement. I also want to raise a troubling pattern that I and others have experienced. Residents trying to adopt or surrender animals during posted business hours at animal control are sometimes met with a locked door and staff that comes across extremely rude. This discourages the community members who want to help. If we want residents to partner with animal control to reduce the number of strays that are being dumped, the first step is to make the shelter accessible and very approachable. Every week I receive messages from concerned neighbors asking for help with dumped puppies, pregnant dogs, roaming cats. Individuals and small rescue groups are doing heroic unpaid work to fill gaps, but this cannot be a long-term solution. Commissioners, I respectfully ask that you take the following actions. Launch an independent review of animal control operations and capacity. Please commission a short, transparent investigation into staffing, intake procedures, record keeping, and how space is prioritized when the shelter is full. Number 2 would be improve accessibility and customer service at the shelter. Ensure that the shelter is open and staffed during posted hours. Trained staff is available, public-facing communication as well, and provide clear information online and by phone about adoption and surrender procedures. Create an emergency capacity plan, develop a contingency for overflow animals, temporary foster programs, partnerships with regional rescues, and short-term contracted boarding, and publish the plan so that the residents will know what's going on as well and be able to keep up with it. I know this is going to sound crazy, but over the next week or so, I would find it very fascinating if any of you would call the shelter, email the shelter, or just show up and not say who you are or just have a friend of yours do it, not say who any of you are or anything, and just inquire about an animal. Inquire about what do I do with this stray animal that just showed up in my yard, and see how you are embraced by them. And you'll see why everyone here is so upset because of the way we're embraced by them.
Thank you, William.
Chris Ferguson.
Good evening. My name's Chris Ferguson, in 222 Merriweather Street, Griffin, Georgia. I'm the administrator of NALO Spalding. It's on Merriweather Street. I'd like to start by thanking all of the council members and everybody, all our first responders, fire, EMS, PD, SO, everybody knows who they are. Briefly about myself, I started out my career in the fire service, became a paramedic at Grady. then became a tactical medic, special ops medic, then a flight medic, and finally a captain, and took an early retirement after 23 years. So what we do, so that being said, I also have substance use disorder, alcohol use disorder. So that being said, we saw a need in the community amongst everyone with the suicide rate, with the substance use rate, to do an outreach for the community. So at Nalo Spalding, like I said, we're a community outreach. We offer peer support for people dealing with substance use disorder, alcohol use disorder, mental health issues. Kai's here with me. She's one of our peer specialists, is doing a wonderful job over there. We also offer family visitation, financial planning, career development, support groups, continuing education, and all of that's at no cost, to the community, to the county, or the city. So, we just wanted to thank y'all for your support. We did the recovery bus tour with y'all's support. That was a big hit downtown. That was great. So thank y'all for your support, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Thanks.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for what you're doing for our community.
Michael Renew.
Hello, I'm Michael Renew, 500 Airdrum Way, Griffin, Georgia. Due to all the scrutiny this year, I prompted an investigation into a rescue organization individual who has been highly critical of our animal control services. A formal complaint was submitted regarding the unauthorized trapping of animals in violation of Rule 40.13.13.04. A subsequent investigation conducted by the Georgia Department of Agriculture revealed that this rescue organization has engaged in trapping of numerous dogs over several years. Following a discussion, the rescue was issued a violation, noticed, and mandated to immediately cease all unauthorized trapping activities. The facility will be placed under close monitoring with urgent inspections scheduled every 3 months. A lot of those were in Spalding County. Additionally, a complaint was lodged concerning a rescue organization's distribution of heartworm medication without a required license, a practice that is in direct violation of state regulations. As a result, a warning letter was issued by the GDA Legal Division, and the Food and Drug Administration was duly notified of this incident. Furthermore, our intake procedures have been called into question, necessitating a review for relevant data. I sent you guys this information. I'm not going to go over all the numbers, take up too much time, but from 2019 to 2025, our average intake of animals was 836. Our present director took in more animals than that in 2024 and is on pace of taking in more animals than that this year. The duration of stay for certain animals has also been subject to inquiry. It is noteworthy that a social media post concerning a dog residing in a shelter for 4 years was shared by the owner of the rescue organization in question, without any accompanying negative commentary at all. If this scenario unfolded in our shelter, it would have undoubtedly generated considerably public outcry. It is also worth mentioning for the adoptions conducted this past Saturday, a long-term dog, Rhett, aka Barkley, was successfully placed in a new home. He did not exhibit the characteristics of kennel rage as asserted by this particular group. At the most recent meeting, the last meeting, I was assured that this board would address and resolve all necessary actions to support our shelter. I place my trust in this assurance and extend my sincere gratitude for the commitment to stepping forward and remaining steadfast despite the ongoing negativity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael.
Mr. Chair, that's all who have signed up this evening.
All right, thank you, everybody. Item number 7, consent agenda. Dr. Ledbetter, would you please read the consent agenda items into the record, please?
I will be happy to do that. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Number 1, 2026 alcohol renewal. Consider approval of the following 26 alcohol renewal for retail sale of beer and wine for the following: 3425 Jackson Road, Griffin, Georgia, 30223. Shukat Sadrudin for Prince Food Mart, no violations. Number two, 2026 alcohol renewal. Consider approval of the following 26 alcohol renewal for retail sale of beer and wine for the following: 1511 Vaughn Road, Griffin, Georgia 30223. Shinaz Matani for Nash Food Mart, no violations. Number three, 2026 alcohol renewal. Consider approval of the following 26 alcohol renewal for retail sale of beer and wine for the following: 3970 North Expressway, Griffin, Georgia 30223. Eswar Rao Dazi for Aman Food Mart, no violations. Number four, 2026 alcohol renewal. Consider approval of the following 26 alcohol renewal for retail sale of beer and wine for the following: 2995 North Expressway, Griffin, Georgia 30223. Rushita Kumar Patel for Bolero Food Mart, no violations. Number five, 2026 alcohol renewal. Consider approval of the following 26 alcohol renewal for retail sale of beer, wine, and liquor. Package store for the following: 1650 North Hill Street, Griffin, Georgia 30223. Kader Ma Kados for A1 Liquor, no violations. Number six, 2025 alcohol license. Consider approval of the following 25 alcohol license, please forgive me, for the 26 alcohol license for retail of beer and wine for the following: 3425 Jackson Road, Griffin, Georgia 30223. Nikofar Sodakowala for Essential Food Mart, no violations, change in ownership and store name. Number seven, 2026 alcohol renewal. Consider approval for the following 26 alcohol renewal for retail sale of beer and wine for the following: 3425 Jackson Road, Griffin, Georgia 30223. Nikofar Sonakawala for Essential Food Mart, no violations. And that is all for the consent agenda, Mr. Chair.
I have a question if I could. There's the 3425 appears three times on this, and that makes sense that there's a change in ownership, and so the new owner then has to sort of get the license into their name. That's one of these, and then the new owner has to have a license for the balance. But the first one, does it currently not have a license? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Mr. Allen, would you
Number
mind terribly
six.
addressing this?
I believe number 6 should be 2025.
It is. It should be
It says
2025, not
2025,
2024.
He
So the
read it
question
as
is, this person
2026.
has not had an alcohol license this year.
Correct.
so number
But
one
h-
is
hold,
to
hold,
give it.
hold that thought just a second. Mr. Allen, could you please address this for us?
I need to check on that address for number one. You're right. Yeah, but number 6 and 7 are, as you said, it used to be the country store, so it's a new ownership, new name. They have to get their license for the remainder of 2025 and then renew for 2026.
Correct.
I'll have to check on that address for number 1. I see what you're saying about that. There's not 2 there.
Right. So I mean, that would give 2 alcohol licenses to the same location. That's what
Right.
That's correct.
I will check on that if y'all want to delay that possibly to the December 1st meeting.
Do we
number
want to pull
one.
number 1 out then?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion
check on
to, approve the.
Would that be the right way to do it? Pull number 1 out?
Food Mart is 3425 Jackson Road. Number 1 is correct.
So
Okay.
then 6 and 7 are wrong?
That,
Because it's the Chevron, right? That's the,
It should be the
Northwest corner
Chevron,
of
that's
that.
correct.
and is it the Chevron that got sold and that's the one that's got new owners?
yeah.
Then 6 and 7
What
are
used to be the country store there, that, it's fairly old.
Prince Food Mart. Which one is that?
Jackson Road? Oh, yeah, when you
Yes.
cross over.
Correct.
Yeah.
Is the
Mr.
address
Chairman.
incorrect?
We're not gonna figure this out, so I would like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda minus items 1, 6, and 7.
Okay. And I'll have a verification for that, as we have a couple more on December 1st, so I'll just put that with those.
Mr. Chairman, the application actually says 3425 Jackson Street. I'm not familiar
That's
with
not-
Jackson Street.
Me either.
Number 6.
I would disregard that. Let me look into that. I'll put them back on for December 1st for those ones.
Is there any,
Sorry to be the pedantic lawyer.
no,
and
is
muck this
is
all
there
up
any
for everybody,
issues?
You can pulled those out and vote on 2, 3, and 4.
I think we're being told the owners are here if they wanna,
PO, Prince or the new one?
who are you?
Okay, is it also 3425? There's two,
Can,
Allow them to come up and vote, to speak, and he needs to give his name and address for the record, please.
Mr. Chairman, I rescind my motion.
All right.
Clearly, we're still in the middle of this.
do we want to,
no longer about.
do we want to
Okay,
move
I got
on
you.
from the consent agenda and go on to old business and let them figure this out?
So the number one, Prince Food Mart, was going to reapply. Since that time that he applied, this gentleman
Then
here
there's
is
been a
taking
new
it
one.
over. So number one is not valid, 6 and 7 are valid.
Okay, that checks out, that checks out.
Okay.
So just approve.
All right, so
2
all
and
right.
7. Motion to,
Commissioner
motion to,
Flowers, Taylor, did you say,
Motion to approve the consent agenda minus item 1.
okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
No.
All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, thank you. Thank
Now-
you for coming and being here to be able to get that squared away for us.
Now, do we need a vote on number one, or does it just become moot because?
Moot.
Okay, I just
It
wanna
was
make
just
sure
a
we're doing
mistake. All right.
procedurally, as attorneys, we gotta get it all right, so.
Item number 8. The first item under old business is for the Board of Commissioners to consider the second approval reading of no through trucks ordinance. Ms. Wyndham, would you please share with us the changes to the ordinance?
Mr. Chairman, this ordinance is the same as that approved on first reading with the additional classification of vehicles weighing 62,500 pounds or more. That is the only change.
This will keep 18-wheelers off of county roads essentially.
It will.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Let me have a quick comments. On Friday, the county manager set up a meeting with Representative Karen Mathiak. I think, yes, 5 of the local truck owners and GDOT to go over this, to be able to try to find the win-win situation, to be able to keep our roads so that we're not constantly spending money to repair them because of heavy vehicles. And then trying to find a way that the truck owners can get their businesses or small businesses to be able to get done. At that time, thanks to a lot of work by TJ, we were able to identify 6 roads of that they say they need to be able to get onto to be able to do it out of all of our roads, 470 miles of them. Today, TJ worked with the GIS people, and it is 23 miles of roads that need to be what we think GDOT needs to be able to help us with to be able to get them. Some of them are landlocked. They can't get any other way than to drive on our roads. We're saying you can't drive on our roads. So it's very hard for our small business owners to be able to do the job.
I'm concerned about that, Mr. Chairman. It's one thing for you to drive from your house to it's one thing for you to drive from your house to a business or drive from your house to do business, but your home is not your business site in general. And while I don't have a problem with trying to work with GDOT, if they wanna do something that we're not allowing others to do in the county, then they need to get the road. They need to take all the responsibility associated with it. And I don't see us making exceptions in this spot when we didn't do it out by the rock quarry and when we didn't do it out by the reservoir. Why is this, why are we spinning our wheels here? The answer is simple. You either take the road if you want it and keep it fixed and do what you need to do, or let us just do our business the way that we're supposed to do it. So, I mean, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But I don't want you to
That's
go into a
I wanted to
long-
make sure everybody understood what the issue
Yeah.
was about. This is roads that we are paying, our taxpayers are paying to be able to get done. And we've got our own small businesses trying to be able to do business. And unfortunately, they're clashing. we should be able to figure a solution out. Our first step is to be able to say, we're taking care of all of our citizens in here by doing the roads that we think are right. Then we will look and see if Representative Mathiak can step forward to GDOT and use her powerful hammer to be able to get them to help us in this situation.
To me, it really is that simple. We have 100% of every city in Georgia through GMA and 100% of every county signed a plead to the state. Please don't raise the weight limit. That's the first time that's ever happened. That we've all agreed, and they still raise it. That said, even with the old weight limit, if these trucks drive across our streets, they break it like tempered glass. And then it doesn't look like it because you can't tell immediately because it's asphalt. But then 2 years later, hey, where all these potholes come from? Man, the county did. I can't believe the county's not. Hey, the county's, we're doing our best. It's $1 million a mile to repave these roads. We're doing our best. But when an 18-wheeler drives across it, it smashes it to pieces. That's why these no through truck signs are there. Last year, we had a big clash about this, and the solution is very simple. The state takes these roads and turns them into state routes. The state, GDOT, showed us their plan to create and take the roads that we're already talking about. We're just asking for them to take them sooner than what they had already planned. Last year, they agreed to do that. And then they didn't. They just didn't. So to me, when somebody gives you their word, that's a binding contract. I'm maybe I'm too Southern for this, but like when you tell me you're going to do something, I believe you. And the state told us they were not Karen. Our representatives have done fantastic. We're talking about GDOT. GDOT said, yes, this is a great solution. We will take these roads. And then they just never did. To me, it comes down to that. The state GDOT needs to do what GDOT told us they would do. This is a solution that is perfect for everyone. Frankly, one of these roads used to be a state route.
Correct.
We're giving it back to the state, so we've spoken with various organizations and drivers groups, and everyone agrees. The solution here is very obvious. It's right on the face for GDOT to take these roads. And that's where all the pressure needs to be. Everyone is in lockstep here. The answer is for them to do what they committed to us to do. I don't think that's a weird ask.
Any other comments,
If it's
discussion?
not written down, it didn't happen.
Well, that's why the no through truck signs went back up.
I'm just saying.
I still do not like this ordinance. I mean, I
Do not
know
like
y'all-
what? I'm sorry?
I do not like this ordinance. I'm still totally against it because all trucks, delivery vehicles, trucks having more than 6 wheels or more, that got me. Having 3 axles or more, that got me. Having overlength, the only 2 I'm clear of is 3 and 4. So you're still hurting lawn care and just anybody hauling skid steers because, like, you take, for example, I got a 3500, I hook my trailer to it, I'm at 10 wheels, I'm at 4 axles, so I'm considered a big truck. So I would definitely be totally against this ordinance as it's still written. I mean, I can agree with the weights and everything. I understand how that works with the rock quarries and hauling the stone, but this still hurts the little guys.
The wheels, number one, does that include the trailer wheels or is that just the truck?
It's all wheels.
It's all wheels.
So I thought the whole purpose of us having the discussion of was because we do have a lot of local people who drive lawn care and
Or if my
delivery
dually's
trucks.
carrying a regular trailer, that
This
would include
ordinance
this.
does already provide for right-of-way travel permits, so there's a process for an exception that is already built in to the ordinance.
What is that?
It's in your agenda packet. It's E, right-of-way travel permits must be secured by any owner, contractor, or logging contractor for any and all heavy laden trucks or delivery vehicles crossing a ditch within the county road system, utilizing a construction entrance, entering the right-of-way within unincorporated Spalding County from a commercial construction or development, and from any residential housing development with the intent to develop more than 4 residential structures within the development.
But that's,
How does that fix? I got a lawn company and I got a truck full of lawnmowers and weed whackers on the back.
It shall not apply to hauling farm animals, materials, equipment and machinery, supplies, or farm products from a farm processing plant, business, or farm in Spalding County or an adjoining county. Vehicles and equipment of Spalding County or the state of Georgia under contract with either for the construction, repair, and maintenance of roads and bridges, trucks with a valid Spalding County right-of-way travel permit. And we can certainly, well, it also says the Board of Commissioners shall set a fee for the right-of-way travel permit, by resolution, which may be amended from time to time.
hold on now. Now I've,
Now, if a,
so you've created an exception for any truck with a right-of-way travel permit. And what is the qualifications to get one of those?
Those were, this has been in the ordinance since it was actually written the first time, because this amendment to the ordinance was for the, addition of vehicles having 3 or more axles, including their load.
So number 2 is all that we've added.
Number 2 was added, and then number 4 was added after our first meeting this month, because you asked for that to be added.
But
So,
was anything else other than 2 and 4
Those are the only changes
from the what's
current
it's always been?
existing ordinance that's been on the book for
Okay.
more than a year.
so, Mr. Chairman, I was under the impression that with the changing of the vehicle weight, because we had a good bit of discussion about the fact that we did not want to hurt small business.
Correct.
I'm not happy with this. I think we can do better. I don't think that we achieved what it was that we were trying to achieve, which is, to keep over the road heavy vehicles from traveling, not, the school bus or the little bus that goes and picks the kids up from the daycare. This is not what I thought we were getting.
now remember, if you have a lawn care business and you are doing lawn care service for an address, you are afforded the opportunity to travel on that road to that address to do the work that you've been contracted to perform.
Yes.
If your start or end point
That is
is
correct.
inside a no-through trucks,
That is
you can
correct.
go
Correct.
into the no-through trucks.
Yes, you're not prohibited from you're prohibited from using our roads as shortcuts to
Right.
get from point A to point B.
So
That
a
is
lawn care
correct.
company in Noonan going to Butts County couldn't take East College to get there.
Correct.
They would need to
But
carry.
if somebody who wanted, in that same truck,
But
going
somebody
to
that
cut
was
somebody's lawn on
doing
East
work
College.
on East College
could still go
of
there.
That is
course,
correct.
yes.
So somebody, an entrepreneur, a small business that needs to use the road to get where their delivery's going or where their lawn care or whatever,
They're not prohibited from doing
then
so.
they're not,
That's correct.
that's still exempted.
But how you gonna prove that? There's no bill of ladings or anything. I'm cutting East College Street. Well, I'm gonna cut address such and such, I guess we're gonna follow them to the address to make sure they're cutting there and.
That's just another thing for us to have to
I know, it's
police.
just a lot to it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just.
No,
That's-
and
that's
I
always been the
defer
case,
to
though.
them because this is part of what they do. They're aware of this, not small trucking, but, I mean, Reginald delivers stuff for his business and you have, your stuff is on the road. I'm just saying,
What-
we just need to fix
what-
this. and
What should be
somebody-
changed? What would you change?
In a perfect world, you could drive on this road. First of all, I don't understand the whole purpose. If you got a truck, that's one thing. If you got a trailer, how come that's the same thing as a truck? It's two different things. But we're saying that however many wheels you got, whether if you're pulling a rack with a baby tied to the back, whatever, it still counts as a wheel for what you're doing. I don't think that that's fair, cause it's not the same vehicle and it's never
So-
gonna.
So how do we define trailers? Because a tractor trailer is the truck and the trailer, and the bulk of the weight is in the trailer.
Again, I don't know the answer, but we haven't got to it yet, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
And a lot of drivers would drive home in their trailers, and the trailers be empty. And so you have an empty trailer, but you need to get home. You understand what I'm saying?
We can't stop you from getting home.
Yeah.
That's exempted.
It's already
That
exempted.
route
If
of
you're going
travel is
home
always
and
exempted.
you gotta go through a no-through trucks to get there, then
Even if
If
they
the
got the
starter
trailer?
endpoint is in another
Okay,
truck, you
okay,
get to go.
Okay, cool.
regardless
But
of
you
how
can't
many
take a
wheels
shortcut.
or how much it weighs.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
I've never seen code enforcement do that to anybody. Y'all don't pull, I mean, I know y'all don't mess with it, but I'm just bringing it up because you.
No. We want to get it right.
What do you?
We just
I
gotta
mean, I'm
protect
not
the
telling
roads.
you to figure it out, but it needs work.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so.
So
motion
really,
table.
really all that we're adding is the total weight, right? That's the,
The three
63,000
or
or
more axles,
62.
and that was at the request of code enforcement, and then the weight addition was at your request.
I mean, the weight addition makes sense, and 3 more axles.
I mean, Luke is here if you'd like further explanation regarding
Yeah,
the axles.
3 or more axles, if you're counting my front wheels, my back wheels, and the trailer I'm pulling.
Reason for this implementation was, or the request to implement this, was for the tractor itself, 3 axles on the tractor. So just the cab of the vehicle, because they have modified, the semi-trucks to where now on the rear axles, you only have 1 tire per side. So if they're running bobtail, they only have 6 axles. They're still 25,000 pounds riding a road with six tires. We couldn't enforce that with the current ordinance. So we requested that the tractor, included 3 axles in addition to the 6 tires. So that we could enforce it on those, bobtail trucks.
If the purpose is to prevent trucks that are damaging the roads, could the ordinance not be that simple? Hey, if in the opinion of, I mean, I hate to, like a per se DUI, but like a less safe DUI, like, in my opinion, you were too drunk to drive. I don't know what your blood alcohol level was, but whatever it was too much. And like, maybe that's the ordinance. Hey, your truck's too heavy. You're gonna hurt our roads. Well, what does that mean? That means, in my opinion,
I believe that's too vague to be enforceable, Mr. Commissioner.
well, I thought so on DUIs too, but I get proven wrong on that pretty regularly, so.
All right,
You actually had a motion.
I made a motion to table, but I'm
Well,
looking down at the desk.
The initial motion was to approve with a second, and Ms.,
I rescinded my second.
thank you.
all right. So, the initial motion was
You
also
had-
just,
You have no motion on the table.
all right. Gwen,
Motion to table until we have a workshop and can discuss this further.
No, I'll second.
all right.
I know there's no discussion, but I would like to have some little trucks and cars with things on the back so I can actually understand what axle is.
And I would like to invite some of these trucking companies to, I know y'all had a meeting, and I wished I'd have known about it, because I would have been there at that one too. But invite them again, and just, I mean, their feedback is a big help to us too. It helps us understand it, because I don't know nothing about the big trucks. I just know about my little trucks. So
I think
it's-
that's smart.
And the people that were there were all looking for a win-win situation. They stated, this is our problem, how do we do it? And it was nice enough for a representative from the General Assembly to be there to help us kind of look at what we want to do with GDOT.
The
So-
issue isn't local trucks going to local stops, because that's exempt from this. The issue is big trucks cutting through and destroying our roads.
All the question.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, do you want to workshop this on the 15th of December, or?
yes.
Okay.
It needs to be sooner than later because our current ordinance is in play and we are actively enforcing
Enforcing
the
it.
no-through trucks.
Good.
Which is just the 6 wheels and the excess of 30 feet.
Okay.
All right. Now, we have a
Except
motion to,
vehicles designated to carry passengers, so there is no bus issue.
all right. This,
had
we have a motion to table.
You have to call for the
All
motion.
those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0. Motion is tabled until 15 December.
Correct.
New business. First item under new business this evening is for us to discuss approval of medical director's contract. It is my understanding that this request is to account for the increase in liability medical insurance for our approved provider. I believe there's a direct pass-through of this cost and does not add any administrative fees to administer this increase. Dr. Ledbetter? Oh,
Good evening.
hello, Fire Chief.
Yes, Dr. Pizzata is our medical director, and he only charges us what his insurance coverage is. And due to natural increases over time, his costs had gone up $1,960 a year. So we're asking for renewal of his contract with his increase to coincide with his cost.
All right, hold it. How much is this money?
1,000.
The total,
$1,000.
the increase is $1,960. The total
Total is-
contract is
7.
$7,920 a year.
My question is, how
Why don't
long
we
has
send
Dr.
it to
Pizzata been being your medical director?
I believe this will be his third year. This is the first increase.
Okay. No, I mean, I think that's great that all we have to be responsible for is the cost of liability insurance.
I mean, he does us a good service at no cost, and he's very responsive to us. So he's been great.
He's a good doctor too.
He is.
Okay,
Motion to approve.
all right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries. Thank you,
so
Chief.
much.
Item number 2, consideration of approval for the Griffin Judicial Circuit elected officials and staff at a 6.25% increase, a proposal due to HB 85 at the request of the Superior Court Judge. Dr. Ledbetter?
They're actually in the audience, sir.
Three of the five are here. Four of the five are here. Oh, look at that. Ballard just snuck in.
Chairman Davis, Commissioners, Dr. Ledbetter, I'm Judge Ben Coker, and I'll be presenting our proposals tonight. I'm here on behalf of all 5 of the Superior Court judges. You're correct, we do have 4 of them here tonight. We also have our District Court Administrator, Dr. Will Simmons, here. We're here to ask for your support and your approval of 2 budget proposals. The first budget proposal falls under House Bill 85. House Bill 85 was passed this year by the Georgia Legislature. Currently, the 4 counties of the Griffin Judicial Circuit contribute approximately $250,000 annually towards the compensation of the judges of our circuit in the form of a supplement of $50,000 per judge. Under House Bill 85, the judges can opt in, and all 5 judges of this circuit have already opted in. And what it does is seeks to provide uniformity for the pay structure of Superior Court judges throughout the state. It also will phase out the supplement that is provided by the counties. The state will actually absorb the current supplement that's being paid by the counties. What we're asking for under House Bill 85, there is a provision for locality pay, and it gives the counties an option to pay up to 10% of our base salary in locality pay. The good thing about that is, for one, the money's already there in fiscal year 2026 budget. It was already budgeted at the time that Dr. Simmons met with the counties, so there's no increase to any of the counties if you support and approve this budget proposal. We're also asking that the savings that will be generated by House Bill 85, a portion of that we're asking to pass along to our employees in the form of a 6.25% merit raise. The reason for that amount is that Fayette County in their fiscal 26 budget approved a 6.25% merit increase for Fayette County employees, and we have certain Griffin Judicial Circuit employees that fall under Fayette County employees. Now, we're carving out 2 Spalding County employees from that proposal because they received a merit increase this year, or a pay increase this year, as part of the budget that was approved by Spalding County. But like I said, this is not a request for an increase in the budget. The money is already there. We're just asking that you allow us to allocate the funds that we already have towards the locality pay. And it would result in approximately, if both measures were approved, it would result in money coming back to Spalding County in approximately $37,000 for this budget cycle. And I, along with the other judges, are here for any questions, I believe Dr. Simmons has indicated that the neighboring circuits, judicial circuits, have all approved locality pay for their judges. 2 of the counties of this circuit have approved it, Pike and Upson. So we're asking for your support and approval here tonight.
Dr. Ledbetter, I've heard rumors and I've spoke to Judge Miller about it, but is it revenue neutral? Like, will this actually affect our budget at all?
Actually, it's not revenue neutral. There are other constitutional officers who are attached to the Superior Court judge's
everybody else is
salary that it would be an impact to this fiscal year.
But not at this fiscal year, because there's a suspension under House Bill 85 until June 1st of 2026. It states.
That is correct.
It
Okay.
states that.
So if we approve it now or we approve it in January, like Fayette County wants to do, it's still just going to go into effect in June.
As far as the
Next June.
As far as the employees that are tied to the Superior Court compensation, what it does at this point, it suspends that calculation, and it allows the county commissioners and the legislature to either repeal that calculation or allow by local ordinance y'all to adjust the compensation of other employees that were based on Superior Court.
So y'all's
salary.
part would go into effect, but everybody else's wouldn't until.
It remains, their
Okay.
salary remains the same until June of 2026. And at that point, the suspension is lifted. Either the Georgia legislature can repeal how the other employees, their compensation is structured, or the board through local ordinance or local legislation can do that. And you have now until June of
to figure it out.
2026 to do that.
Well,
And that date would only affect our current state court judge and the new state court judge that is to be appointed. Because the Solicitor General's position is the only other one that is currently tied to the Superior Court judge's salary. And
The district
that is
attorney's?
actually further suspended.
And
The
it
district
doesn't
attorney's not-
provide any
not-
retroactive pay
Sure.
either.
Now, the 6.25% increase would impact us in that we have a banded salary range for those who fill the role of the court employees that span across the rest of our employees. So if we adjust one set, so if a salary range for grade 13 or 18 is impacted, then the salary range for grade 13 or 18 across the county would be impacted.
okay.
Mr. Chairman, I have a real concern with this. First of all, I need to know exactly what the ask is, because clearly if the judges have already decided to opt in, then they've opted in for the state to make up the difference of what we were paying out of the 5 circuit court judges. However, we have not budgeted for any of this. We have not talked about it. I take exception to the fact that it's already been budgeted, because we have always been forthcoming whenever the courts have asked us for money, reluctantly, but we have given it. Now we're getting a few dollars back, and you want that too. I'm not good with that. First of all, we have not budgeted that. Secondly, we don't know if we're gonna do that, and I don't feel that any employee that we have should get a raise and everyone else doesn't either. And and that may be a possibility, but we haven't gotten there yet. So if there's an action that we need to take tonight, if one of those actions is agreeing to allow them to take that money and give a merit pay that doesn't ever go away, I'm not ready for that. Now, maybe everybody else is, but I need more discussion on this, and we need to talk about our budget. We haven't even had the first discussion about our budget, so I would
Commissioner.
suggest that this item be tabled.
Commissioner Flowers, Taylor, may I respond?
Please do.
With respect to the 6.25% merit increase, you're correct. That was not budgeted. These are 2 separate proposals. When I say that it was already budgeted, I meant the $50,000 per judge was budgeted in the fiscal year 2026 budget for the entire year. So if you support, or if you approve the locality pay, that money is already there.
It's just switching from us to the state like that.
And
That
there's
should
an
definitely-
excess, there will be an excess, and that money will be returned to all the counties of the
We should
circuit.
certainly approve that part at the very least. I mean, that's a fantastic idea that the state is gonna start paying their locality pay instead
We don't
of
have
us.
to approve that. They've already opted to do that. They're
So
gonna
we
get
don't,
that
we
money
don't
from
have
the
to
state.
do anything
We don't
that's
have to
happening.
approve
You have
them getting
to
more money.
approve the locality pay. The counties of the circuit have to approve the locality pay because it's an option that the counties have. They don't have to pay.
Right, but we don't have to do that right now. We don't have to do that right
You're
now.
correct.
And the locality pay, according to this document, can be 0% to 10%. So that gives us some numbers to work with. But I'm not for making any kind of commitment in a budget that requires us to even, at this point, to move. Because this is a pay raise. It's gonna be a pay raise, and it's not fair for the rest of the employees that we think are doing an excellent job to not have the benefit of also being able to get a merit increase.
This is part of the fundamental reason why earlier in the year I was harping so hard on the local legislation that we sent up to peg all the judges and everybody else, all the elected officials to the federal court judges so that we shouldn't be voting on what these elected officials' salaries are. Like, that's silly. Like, that's a ridiculous thing. It's a ridiculous position for us to be in. It's a ridiculous position for us to vote on what the sheriff's salary is going to be. That's a ridiculous position. All that should be pegged, just like we sent up to the state to approve. It should not be in our hands.
I think eventually that the locality pay, the way it's figured in our House Bill 85, it will be phased out. And
Right.
eventually the counties will not be contributing to the judge's budget at all. I think that's the plan.
I think that's a fantastic plan, and I'm very in support of this. But it's always the Superior Court is weirdly out of sync. I mean, when we came for a raise, that didn't include the bailiffs because they're not under the same umbrella, so they had to come separate. It's like, that's bizarre, and I think it's bizarre because it's written by folks that are single county circuits. You know what I'm saying? It's written by the Fultons and the DeKalbs and the Gwinnett's that go, yeah, this is how it works because this is how we do it. But when you have 4 counties, 3 who really think alike and 1 that is pretty separate. No offense, my wife's from Peachtree City, but Fayette County's a different planet than the rest of us here. It's a weird way that the cycle happens and stuff. So that's not y'all's fault. That's just the way that our really old Constitution works. So
All right, do we want to table both actions?
I certainly the idea
I
of
thought it was
the
only one action.
No, ma'am, it's
That's
2
two.
separate proposals.
certainly the locality play I think we should do. That's shifting it from us to the state, and it'll eventually be phased out. But again,
My
I'm
motion
just
is
one
to
vote,
table,
but-
is to table,
Both.
to table both, until we have an opportunity to discuss it. He says we have up to June.
well, but the sooner we can do it, the sooner it starts phasing out, right? And the
Now,
sooner
what
the
we
state.
have to do is adjust, we have until June 1st to adjust the state court and the state court solicitor. Because those are the salaries that we pay fully that are tied to the salaries of the Superior Court
And
judges.
we don't know what those numbers are. My point exactly. We need to have some discussion about it.
I think we should do it.
All right, I have, you're making
My
a motion to
table both.
table
items.
both.
Okay, and I second.
You second that motion? All right, there's no discussion on this.
That's right.
All those in favor of tabling the action, please raise your hand. 4, all against, 1, motion's tabled.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judges, please come back when we have more information about what that's going to affect our budget and stuff.
Before we walk out, let me just say, when we opted into the state pay, we said goodbye to your gracious gift to us through all these years, which is the $50,000 per year supplement that you've been so kind to pay. It's allowed us to keep pace with our brother and sister judges in surrounding areas. Bear in mind, if you will, when you talk about this locality pay, that also a part of it is a continuation of the notion that after we retire, if we take senior judge status, we would get a portion of this locality pay in the same way that we've been able to get a portion of the supplement, which we've surrendered
Right.
And you're right, the pay, we're gonna be okay from the state side. But let me tell you, the main reason this is important to me is we're doing the work of six Superior Court judges, and we probably qualify for another judgeship. That's an expense that's borne both by the state and by the counties, as you know. If we can encourage our retiring members, the excellent ones, and we've got Judge Sam's we're just about to lose him. If we could keep him on like a substitute teacher basis, my mind is brimming with ideas about how we can address our backlog, how we can get people out of the Spalding County Jail and save money doing that, how we can get justice for our victims as much faster than we're able to do now. So the incentive to be a senior judge and fill in that way is a big factor in my heart. Thank you so much for all the support that you've always given us in the judiciary.
Good point. Good points. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you all for coming and explaining. Just a second. Item number 3, consider approval of the Griffin-Spalding County Regional Airport Authority Condemnation Resolution AF 46, AF 22, AF 04, AF 03, AF 02, AF 12. Ms. Wyndham, I believe you're prepared to lead the discussion on this?
Yes, sir, and I would like to make one correction. This is not approval of a Griffin-Spalding County Regional Airport Authority. This is approval for the Griffin-Spalding County Airport Authority. The regional authority has ceded all of its power and interest over to the Griffin-Spalding County Airport Authority until the new airport is ready to open.
Okay.
So this is not a regional airport authority position.
Until one flag goes down, the other flag goes up. It
That's
stays kind of how it
correct.
is.
The Griffin-Spalding Airport Authority is specifically does not have the power of eminent domain, and as such, in the past, it has asked this board to act as its condemning authority, and this board has agreed to do so, and that is what we are doing here. Again, there are 6 parcels that are currently, it appears that we are going to have to file condemnation, and in order to get the condemnations filed and the money paid into the court before the end of the year so that the schedule does not fall behind, we need for you to approve these resolutions allowing condemnation. Spalding County would be the condemnor, and Becko and Murray would handle the condemnation proceedings in court. Title would be vested in Spalding County, who would then convey it to the airport authority.
Okay, let me make sure. Does everybody? Okay. Talk us, if you wouldn't mind, could you dumb that down a little bit to us so that we understand what's really happening?
Spalding County is going to be the entity that actually goes to court to condemn the property, and then once the property is condemned, you will then quitclaim your interest in it over to the airport authority, and the airport authority will then own the property in fee simple.
All right, now let's make sure.
Is that
We
better?
have 6 properties that the airport authority has been trying to purchase.
That's correct. The
They-
airport authority has made highest and best offers based on appraisals and review appraisals, all reviewed and approved by GDOT. So we are out of wiggle room in our negotiations. And for these particular parcels, we have not received a counter offer. And therefore, it appears that there's no other choice but to file the condemnation action.
All right, so
It's my understanding that the people that we've made offers on all these based on appraisals, and this isn't just us going, we'll give you $10. This is like,
Oh,
there's a lot of work.
these are GDOT approved appraisers and also GDOT approved review appraisers. So it's a double appraisal system.
But instead of making counteroffers in most of these, they've just done nothing. They've just not responded. They've accepted and acknowledged they've received it, and then just said, we're just going to see.
And that does not mean that they won't settle prior to going to a judge or a jury. They
all right,
could
so
very
then
well.
after we do this, it goes to the judge, and he makes or she makes this is how much the property is worth.
So the right of eminent domain and the condemnation process, as soon as the money is paid into the court with this declaration of taking, title is actually then vested in the condemning Spalding party. So title's gonna be vested in Spalding County before it's even heard by a judge or a jury. The judge or the jury will only be deciding value.
How much? That's right.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
So then,
That's interesting.
I own this property, I want so much money, we haven't been able to work this, it's gonna end up, we're gonna take the property.
Typically, it will be a battle of experts as to what the true fair market value of the property is.
And then a judge will gavel it down and say, this is the number.
Correct.
And everybody gets it that way. All right.
But it hasn't gone back and forth. Most
Yeah.
of these, I think,
Yeah,
if not all of these,
These have not, yes, none of these have,
they haven't
had
counteroffered.
counteroffers.
They've acknowledged receipt of our, hey, here's their offers, here's the appraisals, here's all that we have, and they just go, thank you very much, and then don't respond.
Oop.
So the only recourse is to now move forward with this.
And
This
these
is not
were-
what we want to do. This is
And it's very important for me to also remind you that these, the legal fees, the court costs, and the money paid into the court are all reimbursables from GDOT to Spalding County, so you will be reimbursed.
So that was my question. Who got to pay the money up front to the court? And how much is it? No, we paid it.
no GDOT's.
It's part of-
upfront,
yes,
but it's
it-
100% reimbursed.
It is part of part of what was presented to you by the airport authority several weeks ago. It's been maybe a month or so ago. This was included in that.
Yeah, I'm still having PTSD from that. So all of the money that we have to put up, where we gonna get the money from? I'm just asking.
We do have the funds for this, yes, ma'am.
And it is, actually, it is half City of Griffin, half Spalding County.
Okay. Just wanted to make it clear.
Yes, zero sum for, all right, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the condemnation, the GSAA condemnation resolution for properties AF 46, AF 22, AF 02, AF 03, AF 02,
04.
AF 04, AF 03, AF 02, and AF 12.
And I second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries.
And Mr. Chairman, just one more thing to add. A couple of these, actually, the property that we're allowed to take, leaves a couple of parcels landlocked. Those are considered uneconomic remnants. They were included in our offers to them and in the valuation. So those will be taken as well.
Okay.
But that's a default thing that happens because they're
Because
non-economic
they're
remnants.
they're uneconomic remnants, correct.
Item number 4, consider approval of contract 47, agreement for airport engineering design and/or planning assistance between GDOT and the City of Griffin, Spalding County, and the Griffin Spalding Development Authority.
It's
County
not the
Attorney.
Griffin Spalding Development Authority. It is the Griffin Spalding Airport Authority.
Excuse me?
And this is the next in the series of agreements between the sponsors and GDOT that allows for the continued design and engineering and planning with our consultant, Croy Engineering, for the new airport. And so the Airport Authority approved this at its meeting last Monday night, and it is on the agenda for the City of Griffin's next meeting.
Motion to approve.
All right, I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second? Second. I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries. Item number 5, consideration of the retirement request of K9 Roscoe and the Spalding County to award this outstanding K9 employee to her handler, Deputy Kyle Mason.
Hey, good evening. How are y'all?
Good evening, Sheriff.
So, Roscoe has been in service with the sheriff's office now for about 8 years. He's had a very good career. He's had some health problems in the past. He's also, at his age, is starting to age out. And Deputy Mason is going to be furthering his career with another agency here soon. And by the time we had another handler trained to handle Roscoe, he would have completely aged out. So what we want to do is let Deputy Mason take him. Deputy Mason has a beautiful family. He's got a wife, 2 children who will love and take care of Roscoe. And we just feel like that's in Roscoe's best interest, right now. So,
Any negative side that we don't?
Is Roscoe live with them already?
yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah.
Motion
He
to
part of their family.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I see.
We got a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
But we just thank Roscoe and his family.
Yeah, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff, and thank Roscoe for us.
Yeah, keep bringing us easy
And
stuff.
Officer Mason as well.
Yeah, so Deputy Mason. Item number 6, consideration of office closure Friday, December 26, 2025, or use of a floating holiday for first responders. Dr. Ledbetter?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This date falls in a period when many services slow down in our community, and we have a minimal demand for services. This is the day after Christmas. This will be the Friday following Christmas. Allowing flexibility helps us maintain morale without impacting essential operations. Second, it recognizes the hard work that our employees have put in all year long, reinforcing that Spalding County values work-life balance. Finally, offering this as a floating holiday gives departments the ability to schedule coverage as needed, ensuring continuity while giving staff the chance to enjoy time with the family. This small gesture goes a long way in building loyalty, reducing burnout, and strengthening our team culture. And I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to present this to you and for your consideration of affording our employees the opportunity to take the Friday after Christmas off.
Motion to approve.
Let me make sure we got the normal
Easy one for me.
employees get the Friday after. Shift workers will get a floating holiday to be able to pick and choose with their supervisor to be able to do that. So everybody gets it, not just some of the people who happen to be working that day.
That is correct, yes, sir.
Great idea, I think, on the part of leadership and our employees, and what they have done this year has been sensational. And truly, I think the entire board thinks that this is an absolute great idea. All right, do I have a motion to approve?
All right, you got one.
Okay,
I
second.
second it.
And I have
Discussion?
questions. I do. I think that's very good that nobody's really gonna be doing anything on the 26th. I think all the employees should have that, and I love the fact that people that are working shift will still be able to have the opportunity to have a day that they select to have off. We talked about it a little bit. Can't remember if it was, maybe it was sort of in closed session, but this wasn't exactly closed session. But we talked about looking at creating floating mental health holidays. We have, and I apologize to code enforcement when I talked about, and I was praying about our first responders. I know you guys see some crap when you show up wherever you show up, and so I didn't mean to disregard you, because I know as a nurse, when you arrive on the scene, you just don't know. You go home still not knowing, even though you saw what you saw. I think that's important. We talk a lot about we're being concerned about our employees' well-being and our mental health, and it's a different life when you're the first responder. Sometimes you just need to sit down for a minute. So I know that's not what we're voting on tonight, but I think we need to make sure we keep that in the forefront of our mind, because their job is still continuing every day, and the stress level is getting higher. And if we want to make a difference, I know Steve wanted to take a mental health day someday, but you're okay. But yeah, and I think it would be appreciated and understood, and I'm not sure how that would work, because that would include fire, police, and everybody else, but I think that the entities involved would be able to figure out a way so that could work. But knowing that you have the option that if it's just, I can't even look in anybody's face, that you can be able to say, I need this mental health time. So when we start looking at that and looking at the budget in January, certainly I just hope I don't want us to forget that that's something that we should be able to have on the table for our first responders.
Okay.
That's all I have.
People come to work here not just for the salary, but for the intangibles, for the leadership that we have, our fantastic sheriff, our great county manager, and our department heads that are just fantastic. And our budget's really, really tight. and so giving people pay raises is sometimes very tough. However, giving them a Friday off between a weekend and a holiday, that's the easy win for me. That's a softball that we can show how much we care about our employees and how much they mean to us by doing something like that. So it's an easy yes for me.
And you already got the money back, cause we're gonna get the money back from the judge. So you ain't gotta worry
Okay.
about losing any money to give these folks this day off. I'm just saying.
Y'all are gonna get me held in
You,
contempt.
no,
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
don't expect me to start being different. Everybody get treated the same way.
All right. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0. You'll take the task for the
will.
second
Yes,
part
sir.
of the mental health day. All right. Item number 7, consider a date change for the scheduled workshop, moving December 1st workshop scheduled to 3 o'clock on December 15th at 3 o'clock. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
I have a second. Second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Just so everybody knows, I won't be here on the 1st, so James will be the acting chairman. I hope to be able to work my way back in through electronics, but we'll see how all that works from across the years. All right. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries.
My mom's
Birthday.
Item number 10, report of the county manager.
Mr. Chair, I appreciate the opportunity to share with the community this evening. First, I'd like to start with talking about standing up a committee at our first meeting in December for SPLOST, for a special local option sales tax. As you remember, our transportation special local option sales tax ends at the end of 26, the beginning of 27, and we will be in need of redoing a special local option sales tax for our transportation needs. T-Splost has worked great for our community. We've been able to, at the end of next year, we've been able to complete 100 miles of resurfacing out of the 470. So great job for that program. But in order to continue that great work, there's an opportunity for us to continue with SPLOST. So if the board would be so inclined, staff would ask that we stand up that committee at the first meeting in December and really start heavy to move forward with calling for a referendum in November of 26 for a SPLOST for not only projects, but more specifically around the transportation side. Several months ago, the Board of Commissioners also agreed to provide names of those within our community to serve. Oh, please forgive me.
Before we
Yep,
go
go
on,
ahead.
let's cover the first part. What do you want from us? Are you looking for individuals?
I need
from each?
individuals. I need names for those who will serve on the SPLOST committee, and for you to direct me to provide the letter to the city of Griffin for calling for a referendum in November of next year. And with your approval, I will work with the county attorney. And my request from the county attorney is to assign someone to this role to support moving forward with the SPLOST.
It's done in my head.
I heard Gwen earlier nominate Rita Johnson, and then
No, I was nominating Peter Phelps because he told me to.
okay, that's a good one.
Okay, we may be able to work co-chair, but yes. All right. So look, it seems like it's a long way off.
It's not.
It is not to be able to get the one. We've got to get the issues on it. I'm going to be fairly pushy on doing the roads the same way we did it before. We've had an updated roster come in from TJ on what the roads look like. Follow the same procedure we did this time. It was very good. And then we will have what I think is a small portion, 20%, something like that, for other projects outside of roads. I don't want to try to do a SPLOST for a year and a T-SPLOST for 5 years. It's too awkward to be able to get the votes to be able to do that back to back. So just that's my thought of what this is about. So our job is.
Yeah, we talked about what we were going to do: 3 things: the sewer, the roads, and then the reduction.
Yes,
tax reduction.
and we'll work that out. But we need to. Each one of us, you want us to provide a name.
At least one name so that we can put this committee together and move through the wickets to put the SPLOST on the referendum November of next year.
All right, so
Why wouldn't we put something in the newspaper on the website for people who may want to volunteer?
I will be happy to do that.
Okay.
Now, the critical thing is to make sure we've got the two co-chairs. That is, as I have watched us pass SPLOSs or T-SPLOS, those two people are absolutely essential to be able to go and brief and make it so that everybody understands what's going on. So we'll have, hopefully between now and the next meeting, see if those people that we've talked about are
Peter
available.
and Rita are gonna do a great job.
And then we will, each one of us on the 15th, come back in with a person to be on it from your.
Don't we kind of need to do that before then?
Yeah, I would very much like us to have names available for the 1st of December, and you can send them to me by email. That would be perfectly fine. And we will also put an advertisement in the paper and on our website to ask for those who would like to be a part of the program.
And there's going to have to be some kind of, just so everybody remembers, fundraising to be able to do that. Last time I remember watching it happen, and it was Gwen walking down the aisle of a bus, raising money to be able to do that. If you remember how we did that, to be able to get the East Blast passed. Okay, everybody understand? Okay, I wanted to make sure we got all that.
Thank you, sir. Several months ago, the Board of Commissioners, actually it was back in August, the Board of Commissioners agreed to provide names of those within our community to serve on the role of a naming committee. I do have the naming committee process procedures here in my hand. We have several buildings now that need their immediate attention. Please send me the names of those who will be on the naming committee. As your representative, I'm happy to report that just this past Friday, thanks to our county attorney, the old courthouse, we closed that facility with the City of Griffin and the Downtown Development Authority. We also closed the building next door at 115 North 6th Street, so we are now owners of that building. And we have also the work that's going on for Station 8 Fire Department. So those are three areas that we could use your help in the naming committee role as we move forward.
So this is multiple, we're going to put a naming committee together for multiple things. Handlighter, kind of making sure we all understand. The name for the new fire station number 8 to be able to get that done. We have one we want to do for a street, for an employee, and
A street, where's?
we have two for some kind of an issue to be able to do something with. One with an employee that's gone 50 years, and one of the ones for a deputy that we want to do something for that. So this one, whoever's going to be on this naming committee, I'd like for them to be somebody who has been around the county for a while and has watched and understands what that looks like.
Haven't we already selected, given our names for those?
I have. I don't know about everybody else.
I have.
Okay. Okay, so everybody else, you owe Steve a name. Try to find somebody who has been here a while and understands our community pretty well. All right?
Sorry.
Okay. And if you want to be on it, you sure can. All right. Anything else from you?
Yes, sir. You'd asked me during our last meeting to share with you some information from my tour of Loudoun County with respect to the data centers.
Yes.
So if you'd bear with me just for a few minutes, I'm going to try to move through this fairly quickly. You'll go to, one, and go one more. Thank you. So last month, the Spalding County Board of Commissioners afforded me the opportunity to be one of 3 delegates who attended the tour of Loudoun County, Virginia for their data center alley. And you'll understand more why I call it the alley, why they call it the alley in just a moment. But there were 3 of us who attended. There was a representative from the Association of County Commissioners of Georgia, Miss Alicia Vaughn, Michael Fouts, who is the county administrator of Coweta County, and myself. We flew from Atlanta to Loudoun County to do a tour of the data centers. It was actually a very large facility. And a reason I say that is, if you'll go to the next slide, please, ma'am. One more. There are 200 data centers inside of Loudoun County, Virginia. Now, if you don't know where Loudoun County is, it is adjacent to Washington, D.C. Dulles Airport is inside of Loudoun County, Virginia. So quite a number of people go in and out of that area of our country, but there are 200 data centers located just in that one county. They comprise of 49.5 million square feet of office space, what they consider office space. They contribute $42.4 billion worth of taxable property and generate over $875 million in tax revenue, surpassing the county's budget. They do have a very high property value return on investment. In fact, if you look at the bottom data point there, you will notice that it provides $26 of tax revenue for every $1 spent. Why is that important? Well, if you remember, over the last few years, I have been presenting the Georgia Tech information for the fiscal impacts of land use using the Effingham County model that Georgia Tech put together. And for every dollar generated in revenue for residential properties, it cost us $1.16 to provide services offered by the county. For a commercial or industrial development, it's 30 cents. For every dollar generated, we receive 30 cents to provide, that it cost us 30 cents to provide those same level of services. I want you to look and think about the difference. For a data center, it's $26 of revenue for every $1 of service offered. So that's a tremendous difference in just the numbers. You get a lot more money back for the data centers as they come into play. If you'll move forward, please, ma'am. And one more. So one of the things that Loudoun County, Virginia does is they use a data center retail sales and use tax exemption. So what this does for Virginia is, for any of the servers that are purchased for the data centers, they afford them to purchase those servers tax free at the register. So when they purchase them, they don't pay sales tax for them. Does that mean that they don't pay tax? No, they pay a tremendous amount of tax. In fact, the amount of tax that they pay on personal taxes make up about 90% of the funds that come from that data center. So they don't pay tax at the cash register when they purchase the server, but they pay tax on that server every year through property tax as personal property. And that's how they're able to pull in about $985 million a year against their $1 billion budget annually. 85% of Loudoun County's data center tax revenue comes from that computer equipment, even though it's supported through their data center tax exemption process. I think that's an interesting dynamic, but it's one that we've not even considered, nor is it something that we are looking to put into play. And the reason I state that is, if you'll move to the next one, please, ma'am. On September the 18th, I did reach out to our local industrial development authority, Mr. David Lucky, and asked him specifically about payments in lieu of taxes or any abatements. And he responded in kind by indicating that they had decided, the Industrial Development Authority had decided, that no pilots for data centers are being offered. So we would not abate any taxes for any of the data centers coming in. And that was one of the best practices that was indicated through the tour that I took in Loudoun, Virginia. If you'll move forward. And again. One of the other things that we did have a chance to visit was some of their renewable energy engagements from the data centers that were located in Loudoun, Virginia. Something that I took away that I found interesting is that our renewable energy here in Georgia accounts for about 9% of our total energy needs across the state. And this rang true also in Virginia, is that they're getting between 8 and 9% of energy back from their renewable community. Data centers are big in using renewables. They like the renewable because it brings their bracket for rates down. So they were very inclined to push for renewables, but it still only makes up for about 9% of that total energy spend. Some of the other things that we did have a chance to look at was the water usage. The data realty location that we had a chance to go in, we asked very specifically how much water are they using on an annual basis. And they shared with us that they are using about 170,000 gallons per year of water. They use a glycol system, which is exactly what this board has indicated that we were going to use for our facilities as a part of our ordinances. Just as a comparison, this 170,000 gallons per year is the equivalent of 2 homes. So not a lot of water.
Wow.
And
that's the requirements that we've got for them as well.
that is
right?
correct.
Wow.
One of the questions that we asked was, how is this possible? And the answer was, think about your car. So this is in line with a radiator for your car. You don't spend money to put water back in the radiator on a regular basis. And I even asked, well, how often do you flush it? And the response was, how often have you flushed the radiator in your car? And my answer was, I don't think I ever have. And their response was, that's exactly what we hope as well. One of the conversations that we did have, and they actually pulled one of the servers out of the unit and laid it on the table for us to review. They use what is called a manifold system. So instead of having water directly attach itself to the chip and pull the phosphates out of the chip, they use a copper manifold system that creates a cold loop on top of the chip so the water never touches the chip, so it's not contaminating the water at all. And that's how they're able to keep that water in a perpetual state. I was actually pleased with how we walked through the facility. Inside of the room, and this was inside of the building, inside of a hallway, inside of a room, they were using the oldest technology, and they wanted us to go into the oldest technology where the fan was actually a part of the chip. It was not so noisy that you could not have a conversation inside of the room, but you could hear the fans running. But as soon as you stepped into the hallway from that room, there was no sound at all. In fact, the only noise you could hear was the echoing off the wall between everyone that was in the hall talking. There were 15 of us in the review. And then when we got outside, the only thing you could hear were the birds chirping on the trees or the occasional plane landing at Dulles Airport. I was really impressed with how clean it was. How much the elected officials who were a part of the tour were sharing how involved these data center employees are with their communities and how much they engage with the community, how much they invest back into their community, not just with the tax revenue that comes in, but with being a part of the community, living, working, and playing right there in Loudoun County. I asked specifically all of the elected officials and the staff that were a part of the tour, if you had the opportunity to go back and do anything over again, would you bring one or all of the data centers? And overwhelmingly, the response was, you need a couple. You need 2 or 3 data centers, and because that is the wave of the future for development. None of them would recommend that they would promote 200 data centers for their community. But they did offer the opportunity for us to hear that data centers are a good thing. They are not a detriment to the community. And then the follow-on question was, tell me about your utility bills. And I believe this last slide here shares with us a little bit more about, yes ma'am, one more, about what the utility bills were. For Dominion Power in Virginia, they have indicated that the data centers have realized an increase in their utility bills by 36%, where the residential customers have benefited by a 12% reduction in their utility bills. That was important to me because I wanted to make sure that we are looking out for our community. And as a representative, one of three people who are representing the state of Georgia and sharing back with our communities the goods, the bads, and the uglies from all that we're hearing across our country with respect to data centers, that I did not get a sense of negative that was coming out other than from Loudon, Virginia, 200 is a lot. And being able to put 200 data centers just on the eastern side of their county did seem to be excessive. But I do believe that 2 or 3 of our locations that are strategically aligned with our utility transmission lines, strategically aligned with our water and with our sewer, and making sure that we are looking out for the noise that comes from any testing of a generator, and even going so far as to putting a Tier 4F generator in, which is the latest and greatest noise reduction generator, and putting a containment area around those generators using best practices coming from Loudon, Virginia, is the best option that we have moving forward. And I'm very proud that our staff has been able to put that in front of this board. And I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this tour. I learned a lot.
Well, all right, so let me make sure. In everything that we're doing is bottom line what they recommend that they've been doing, so that our best practices is working to be able to do it. All the stuff we've heard about electricity, noise, water, all those things, location, we've considered.
Yes, sir. I went in with 12 pages of questions that I wanted to make sure that we were asking and getting answers for based on the ordinance that we put into play. And they answered, that is our best practice on every single question that we asked them. And they've got more than 20 years worth of experience of being a part of this type of development.
Comments or questions from anybody?
I'll just make mine private.
Okay, all right, thank you. Anything else from you, sir?
No, sir, thank you.
All right, Deputy County Manager?
Yes, I just have a couple of things. I just wanted to say on behalf of staff, all full-time staff, salary and hourly employees, thank you so much for the floating holiday. I know I can speak on behalf of all of them. And secondly, I just wanted to say that it would be my honor if you guys would include me in the SPLOS committee. Commissioners, you may not know this, but I am currently in the data analytics and decision-making class at UGA. And my capstone project is the data story of SPLOS and T-SPLOS. So it would be my honor if you guys would consider me
Okay, okay.
as part of that committee.
That was quick. Okay, yes, all right,
And that's all I have.
all right. Thank you. At this time, Commissioner Watts?
I just want to say on this Saturday, I love my community. When I tell you the community called me and they was telling me, it was like, we know the people out there are hurting and we want to do something. They would ask me and they say, Reggie, what can you or we do? What can we do to feed the people? So businesses started to bring in the donations. So this Saturday at 10 o'clock at the Fuel Bar, we're going to be handing out 120 turkeys and 100 hams and 300 hot meals to the community. So if you know anybody in need, please tell them to come to the Fuel Bar. And that's 1119 Zebulon Road at 10 a.m. to 1 o'clock. So
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. It's Saturday. So if anybody in need, please let them know. And that's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Commissioner Bolden?
I'm good.
Commissioner Flowers Taylor?
Oh, it's so hard to come behind Reginald. Thanks for the report, Steve. In my brain, I kept thinking, surely those people are not paying any property taxes now that they are generating all this money. But yeah, I will want to get the data on that later. What is on my heart tonight is to ask this board for a consensus for staff to remove money from the commissioner's contingency account in order to provide a Christmas party celebration for our staff.
Absolutely.
I understand that
Do we
they
need a
have
motion for
been
that? That's money.
raising money. I think we can just, I'm just asking for a head
Consensus.
nod.
Okay.
They've been raising money, but, you know, our folks they've been kicking butt.
Oop, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And we need to do something good for them. And this will be one of the first Christmas parties that I can remember them having in the 20 years that I've been here. So, I just want to try to look out for our people and let them know that we really care about what they're doing. I wanted to also say that,
Now, are you through with that portion?
yeah,
Consensus? I'm looking for everybody
Yeah.
head nod. You have what you need?
I do.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
I was at the hair salon this week, and a lady came in and said, "I know you." And first thing I always say is, "I hope it's nothing bad."
Yeah.
But she said, "You're the lady that came up to my street on Lee Street and told me that our road was going to get paved last year, and in a couple months after that, it's been paved." And she said, "I can't tell you how good it feels to ride on that road." And she, you know, everybody wants something on their street, but she said, "I get a certain amount of pride now that I'm riding down all of these smooth streets
Yes.
at somebody's really paying attention to what we need." So I'm saying that to say it is not going unnoticed that we're making these extra efforts, toward beautification and road improvement, and people appreciate it.
And if I could add on to that, Bill, I talked to a lot of business owners or business people who were coming and thinking about coming into our county. And one of them just recently said, "I was here about 10 years ago and your roads were terrible and I wasn't bringing my employees into this county because of the roads. Now, the roads I drove on, looked at for the property I'm thinking about, they're in good shape. I wouldn't mind bringing my employees here now at this rate to be able to do that." So it's just, it also has to do with other people coming in here. And there's amount of pride when you start bringing family members who haven't been here and all of a sudden they're coming to see you. Friends
And
who
it
say,
looks
"Hey, I'm
good.
coming in to see you." And they go, "This is really pretty nice."
Yeah.
So excuse me. Thank
So,
you.
Good job. Good job. That's it.
Okay. Vice Chair?
Oh, wait a minute. I lied. I'm sorry. Regina Abbott with the Collaborative wants to know how it is that we're getting the suicide rate data. I guess they're putting something together for Resilient Georgia, and I don't know. I didn't want to say go to the University of Georgia site, but I think they're needing some, monthly numbers, maybe just for us in Spalding County or our district. And, let me see, suicide rate. Okay. And the members of the Alpha Delta Kappa who came in the teachers organization and got the proclamation, we wrote their name wrong on it, so they would like for us to change it from Alpha Kappa Delta to Alpha Delta Kappa. Y'all see how I'm having a hard time getting my mouth to do that?
Okay.
We should.
I would
definitely do
shoot that to you. That was the thing. Janet, I got it.
We should definitely.
Okay, sorry. Now I'm done.
Okay.
For real this time.
All right. I just want to give some props out to our animal control. They're really doing great, passing all their inspections. But every time I hear when people come in and say, "Hey, I've got a best practice. Are you doing this?" Great. Please keep sharing these with us. Like same thing with our budget time. Hey, if you've got a great idea, please share it with us. We're not up here in an ivory tower think we have all the answers. By all means, if you've got a good idea, share it with us. We would love to implement your good idea. So thanks for everybody who came in tonight. We got a Christmas parade coming up. Get ready. It's the biggest parade of the year. It was so long last year that I was able to ride on a fire truck and then get back in and ride a second time. So
That's a good thing.
I love Christmas parades. That said, just to let y'all know, because maybe we can all go together this time. Brian Jack is interested. He's going to come and be in our Christmas parade with us this year. That's our congressperson. So
how awesome.
we had a meet and greet with him yesterday at Christ Chapel. He and the federal Housing and Urban Development Secretary were down at Christ Chapel, I was really, really impressed with the HUD secretary, and just how dynamic he was. And then they led the prayer service right after that at Christ Chapel. So I got a chance to meet with his deputy secretary and let them know, hey, we've got some housing situations here in Spalding County. They said, I said, hey, we had some tornadoes, and the deputy housing secretary for the federal government said, yes, you guys were hit by 5 tornadoes in the same day, right?
Whoa, that's pretty powerful, them knowing that.
And I said, yeah, and we've still got some housing issues that are coming from this, and we've got some folks in real bad housing situations, some predatory landlords, this kind of stuff. And he said, here's my card, absolutely, let me know. We've got a whole federal sort of inspections group that can come down. And I was like, oh man, that would be incredibly helpful. And they're like, yeah, we can hold these people's feet to the fire if they're not doing right by these tenants. So absolutely, and I was like,
It's perfect.
so it's not, we're not just someplace in Georgia. The deputy secretary of housing and urban development of the United States knew about our tornado issue, knew about the situation going on. So that just blew me away when he was like, yeah, you guys, wow.
Congressman Jack continues to bring.
He's incredible.
People down here, into Georgia, brought the vice president in here, brought the secretary of energy in here. He continues to showcase what Georgia is doing to the administration, the people who have money and who make policy. It's a big deal, and I'm most appreciative.
At the beginning of the year, we went to Renai and had the first federal secretary that's ever been to Spalding County come. Since then, 5 more have come. 6 have come to Spalding County. He's incredible. We are on the radar for the feds in a good way. That said, to talk about in a good way, SPLOST. The 2016 SPLOST, I wasn't here for. Most of us weren't here for. It was a bunch of really neat toys, and I use the aquatic center all the time, but it was a bunch of wants, and Spalding County has some real needs. And we've been saying this since I've been elected. The next SPLOST, if there is one, is going to be needs only. What do Spalding County taxpayer needs? We need roads, we need lower taxes, and we need infrastructure. And so we last year and this year talked about that. Hey, what are we thinking about for the next SPLOST? And I said, guys, I'm not going to vote for it unless it's needs only. And we've all agreed, and therefore this SPLOST has got my approval. The state's trying to move us away from property taxes. That's a big push nationwide, but that money has to come from somewhere. And that money, if you're getting away from property taxes, you go to sales taxes. That's really the only fair way to tax folks because it's voluntary. So we've got to stick to what we've committed to as far as needs. That's what I think those people in Spalding County are going to vote for. The committee names, my children text me. They're watching tonight. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Ty. They let me know that if I was to appoint them, that they would name everything Griffin McGriffin Face. So we're going to probably appoint different people and not them to the committee, to the naming committee. They're probably not responsible enough.
Like the deputy county manager.
Like the deputy county manager, that's right. With that said, it's shown me that tonight not only are my kids watching, but a bunch of people are. We're getting active emails right now from people going, "Hey, I'm watching. I'd love to be on that committee." Hey, you know what I mean? I just appreciate that we have this system that we're being able to broadcast. We need to be a bit more conscious to speaking in the microphones every time, just so that the folks at home can hear us. But yeah, I love civic engagement, and we're taking advantage of the technology to make that happen. One last thing, there's a group that wants to bring I'll say for Spalding County, certainly large scale amphitheater to Spalding County, something like Macon has. Now Macon's got like a 6,000 seat amphitheater. Ours wouldn't be that big, but last week I was able to tour a couple sites here in Spalding County. They're looking at the front part of Quarry's Edge, some of the areas inside City Park. We went out to Yamacraw. We even looked at the former Dundee Mills site because it's a brown site. You can't really build much there, but you could build an amphitheater there. So anyway, some really cool stuff happening in Spalding County. I like the county manager said, I think when these data centers finally come on board and, you know, break ground and start getting taxed, we're going to really be able to drastically reduce taxes for Spalding County residents while affording us the ability to do things like grab more code enforcement folks, grab more animal control folks, really upgrade the training levels there and the ability to take these dogs and cats off the roads and give them good homes. So I just think the next 5 to 10 years for Spalding County, we have plans in place for every problem that we've got and to solve them in big ways. So I think we're really going into, dare I say it, a golden age for Spalding County coming up. So that's what I've got tonight.
Okay, thank you. Make sure everybody knows the tax bills are out. If you haven't seen it, they're gonna be coming due at the end of December, so please make sure you've got it. County Manager, I'd like to have us, wanna get out of the way we're doing alcohol renewals. Whatever we've gotta do to get that so that we're not doing it that way anymore. Bringing it to you, bringing it to all of us, there should be some way for you to be able to handle these.
First reading December 1st meeting.
Well, good, thank you. I was very impressed with Operation Greenlight for our veterans and you being able to get the green lights out on places to be able to show that. So that was very good. I was very impressed with the county's Veteran Day ceremony. It was very nice. There were people there had really not veterans that were there to just come and pay their respects and enjoy what freedoms they have throughout the county. So I was really happy to see all of that. And we were able to do it indoors when the weather was so cold outdoors. Lastly, GRPA, you know, it's, we started a couple of years ago with the fire chief, and then it was the EMA director. We're moving our way through Public Works. Almost everybody that is a director on your staff is being recognized at the state level. Speaks highly of your leadership and the culture that you're developing for our employees, which helps our citizens in the end. So thank you for all of that you're doing to be able to do that.
We have outstanding employees, sir.
All right, next.
Motion to go into closed session.
The board will enter executive session as authorized by OCGA 50-14-3B1A for the purpose of discussing pending or potential litigation with legal counsel. This session is limited to matters involving legal strategy and advice related to claims, settlement negotiations, or judicial actions affecting the county. Do I have a motion?
Motion to go in executive session for the aforesaid named.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, we're going to go into executive session, then we will come back and close out this session. Excuse me. Second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to approve the workers' comp settlement for $80,000 that is through ACCG.
Do we have to name the person?
Is that all we need? All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. All those in favor, please raise your hand. We're adjourned. Thank you all for staying.